Someone disrespects you, cuts you down in front of people, talks over you, and your brain just goes blank. No comeback, no words, just silence. And then 20 minutes later, you finally think of what you should have said. That's not weakness. That's a wiring problem. And it's fixable. Here's what's actually happening. The moment you feel disrespected, your body reads it as a threat, not physical, but social. Your nervous system floods with cortisol, blood moves away from the thinking part of your brain, and you go into freeze mode. It's the same circuitry that made sense on a savanna and makes zero sense in a meeting room. The problem isn't that you don't have a comeback, it's that your brain won't let you access it in the moment. So instead of trying to think faster, we're going to give you 3 things you can install for the moment happens, so you're never starting from zero. Tip 1. Name it out loud. The fastest way to break a freeze is to say what's happening calmly instead of reacting to it. If someone talks over you or cuts you down, you don't need a clever line. You need a flat, neutral sentence that puts the moment back in your control. That came across as disrespectful. Was that intentional? This works because it does 2 things at once. It shows you noticed, and it puts the burden back on them to explain themselves. Most people who disrespect others on impulse have no answer ready for that. The silence flips to their side of the room. Marcus Aurelius wrote that you always have the power to hold no opinion and remain undisturbed. The goal isn't to win an argument in the moment, it's to stay in control of the exchange. Tip 2. The pause is the power move. Here's the instinct you need to unlearn. The urge to fill silence immediately. When you feel disrespected, count 1 full second before responding. Just 1. That's it. It feels like an eternity in the moment. But to everyone watching, it reads as composure, not hesitation. A rushed response looks defensive. A 1-second pause looks like you're choosing your words, because you are. This single habit is the difference between looking rattled and looking unbothered, even if inside you're not. Tip 3. Have 2 universal lines ready. You don't need a comeback for every situation. You need 2 lines flexible enough to cover almost anything. I'll let that one go, Shiti, but I noticed it. Say that again, I want to make sure I heard you right. The first signals restraint without weakness. The second forces the other person to either repeat something they now regret or walk it back themselves. Neither requires you to be witty under pressure. They just require memory, which you can build in advance. Picture this. You're in a meeting and a coworker cuts you off mid-sentence, then repeats your own idea back to the room like it's theirs. Old you freezes, says nothing, and stews about it for the rest of the day. New you, 1-second pause. Then calm and flat. That's actually what I was just saying. Go ahead and finish the thought. No raised voice, no insult. Just a sentence that names exactly what happened and hands the discomfort back to them. That's it. That's the whole shift. Not a comeback you had to invent on the spot. A line you already had loaded, delivered a beat slower than your instinct wanted. None of this is about winning every exchange. It's about not handing someone your composure for free. The people who seem unshakable in these moments aren't naturally faster thinkers. They've simply decided ahead of time how they're going to respond. That decision is what Stoicism actually means. Not suppressing what you feel, but not being ruled by it either. Next time someone disrespects you and your mind goes blank, you won't be starting from nothing. You'll already know what to do. If this helped, subscribe. We break down one real psychological tool like this every week.